conception. We were doing a pilgrimage for our oblates and benefactors in the footsteps of St. Benedict. At Norcia right now, let me speak first about the monks and then about the nuns. The monks did not hold the property there of the basilica, but simply served and acted as the caretakers of that place. It was becoming more and more difficult for them because Norcia itself is a lovely tourist town in Umbria. And so it was their hope to be able to move outside of Umbria. And there was on a hill 3 kilometers outside the former site of a Capuchin friary. And they have received permission to build there, and they have already built a monastery, and they are raising funds to be able to build a church. And there are about a dozen monks there. The sisters at Norcia have been combined with another monastic community in Trevi, because it does not look like their building is going to be able to be restored at any time in the future. But I might mention in relation to this a moving experience that I had, because when I came into the position, I had studied Italian years ago and needed to really brush it up. So I went to Assisi for a summer and did an intensive program at the Accademia Lingua Italia there, and served as chaplain to the nuns at San Giuseppe. And while I was there, I met the community of San Genesio, which had been brought together with the community of San Giuseppe. So they formed kind of a new community there. And then also had the opportunity to visit 3 other communities that had been displaced by the earthquake. The monastery of Santa Caterina in San Martino al Monte, the nuns of Amandola, and the nuns of San Vittorio. And all of those are in the area of Marche, which borders Umbria there. And it was really a very emotional experience for me to see the profound joy of these women in the midst of this significant suffering that they have gone through. Now, if I might also mention, if you're planning to do a pilgrimage to in the footsteps of St. Benedict, a couple places that are not often visited but are really very worthwhile is the monastery of Maggiore Olivitano. Sì. Maggiore come si dice? Monte Oliveto Maggiore. So we went there, and see, one of the things that is so beautiful about that, and the people in our group were so touched by, in the cloister, they have paintings which depict the entire life of St. Benedict according to the dialogues. And when I went there for my first time a number of years ago, every time I passed through that cloister, there were art students there admiring the beautiful frescoes that were there. And it's really a beautiful place just outside of Siena, and a place worthwhile putting there. Also, within Rome itself, there are 2 places where I took our group that they really enjoyed. One of those is called San Benedetto in Piscinda. And it was the family home of St. Benedict.
Where is that?
In Rome, where he lived before he departed to Subiaco. And so that church is well kept, with a reference to St. Benedict and his room.
Yes.
It's in Trastevere. And then just around the corner from San Benedetto in Piscinola is the Basilica of San Crisologo. And if you go down into the crypt belowhand, you see one of the earliest frescoes dating from the 7th century of St. Benedict. So those are two very precious places to be able to put on your list, in addition to Monte Cassino and Subiaco. I probably answered more than you wanted.
No,
but
that was
anyway.
great.